Hey everybody, welcome back. Today is August 5th, 2018, and the big story from yesterday that I want to cover today is the alleged attempted assassination of Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. And what you're going to learn in this video is how the mainstream media, which includes nations all over the globe, this isn't just an American and British control system. Most of the governments in the world are under this control right now, and this all traces back to the central bank. There's only a handful of nations that aren't under Rothschild banking control at this point, and certainly Venezuela is one of them. What I cover on this channel is the very basic language of numbers and letters called Gematria or Gematria. This practice is very simple. All you do is assign a number to each letter in the alphabet relative to its position. The four ciphers on the screen are the four base ciphers, as we call them. The English ordinal is 1 through 26. Reverse ordinal, 26 through 1, where Z gets 1 and A is 26. Both methods can then be reduced to a single digit using the rules of numerology. Simply add the digits together to get a new sum. And as you're going to see, something is very, very strange is going on in this country when you start paying attention to this and dates on the calendar. So yesterday was a big date for this global control network, a Judeo-Masonic network comprised of the Jesuit order and higher levels of Freemasonry. This language of letters and numbers is very important. Another cipher I'm going to be touching on throughout the course of this video is Jewish Gematria, which produces very large numbers. You'll see this cipher based on the original Latin alphabet on the right side. In this cipher, Obama, our last president here in the United States, sums to 84. His birthday is on August 14th. Another big celebrity as of late has been Meghan Markle. Her birthday also falls on August 4th, and it just so happens August 4th is the 216th day of the year. Meghan Markle, in the reverse alphabetic order, equals 216. Now this number is special to the gang that's orchestrating these operations. 216 factors to 2 to the third times 3 to the third, which is actually 6 times 6 times 6. This language of letters and numbers is rooted in the Bible, and of course 666 is listed as the number of the beast in Revelation 13:18. So in this video we're going to explain how this beast riddle is currently playing out in the mainstream media through the numbers. It might be a lot to follow, but if you hang with it, you may just understand it. This all began over the course of the week when a company called Apple reached $1 trillion in value on the stock market. Now, in this beast riddle, it seems to be the case that the circle is the mark of the beast. And there's many reasons for this. In fact, I have a slide that you can check out in my blog post that explains why I believe the circle is the mark of the beast based on the numerology of the book of Revelation. So Apple's headquarters is now this giant circle. And in this language of letters and numbers, Apple sums to 50 using the standard alphabetic order. So does the word circle, summing to 50. And think about how this is all in America. America sums to 50. Our president's name is Donald 50. But this headquarters right here that you're looking at with the circle, this is in Cupertino, California. And just to show you about how these reverse ciphers also factor in, Cupertino equals 50 in the reverse reduction method. Furthermore, Cupertino equals 121 and 149 in our two main base ciphers. This is the same as Revelation, 121 and 49. And, of course, the number 666 revealed as the number of the beast in the book of Revelation. So I hope this isn't too much to handle at first, because we're going to get a little deeper into this riddle and talk about what's all playing out. Just to explain more about this, Apple summing to 50, this is relevant because the 50th prime number is 229. prime numbers of utmost significance to this gang. Noticed how Apple's operating revenue was $229 billion last year? Well, on the date of this announcement, they were 2,209 weeks old. So you can drop the 0 to get the 229. This number, 2209, has a square root of 47. The word beast equals 47 in the standard alphabetic order. So this Jewish Gematria cipher, which produces larger numbers, the word beast equals 198, and that's the same as Apple Inc. Apple Inc. 198. So if you're new to this and you think I might be playing with numbers, please check my video library. I use these ciphers, these same measurement techniques in all my videos. And just to further cement this whole beast ritual, think about how on the same date we got this news from Apple reaching $1 trillion. We also got news that Kane, the WWE's beast, or as his nickname has recently been, the devil's favorite demon, he won a mayoral election in Knoxville, Tennessee. In reduction gematria, Apple equals 23. Using the reverse method, Kane equals 23. And his mayoral seat will be in the city of Knoxville, Tennessee, which sums to 230. He even won his primary election by 23 votes. So again, my blog is linked under this video if you want more information on this. But now we're going to finally talk about this Venezuelan assassination attempt and how this was orchestrated by a similar riddle. So again, 198, the gematria of Apple Inc. and Beast. It was the 4th of August. Notice how both in ordinal and Jewish we have a value of 198. This matching alignment is actually uncommon between these two ciphers, based on how they're structured. So double 198 in this date. In English extended gematria, this is the cipher that's actually most closely related to Hebrew gematria and Greek isopsephy charts, based on how it's structured, 1 through 9, 10 through 90, and then 100 through 800 using the current present-day alphabetic order. The name Nicolas Maduro Moros, his full name, sums to 1,098 using this method, and he's making international news on the date 4th of August, which also equals 198. So we mentioned how beast sums to 47 ordinal. This is much like the word time summing to 47. And it's my belief that the beast is, or is at least equivalent to, time and the concept or the passage of time. Now, in the ancient Hebrew language, time has this gematria value of 747. And Nicolas Maduro, with this A excluded since it's an, foreign character to the English language, his name also has this value of 747. So again, it's not just one match. You're going to see these matches along multiple methods. The date August 4th, written 8/4 here in the United States. And we mentioned how this is Obama's birthday, right? Obama equals 84. Well, look who claimed responsibility for this attack. The group was called Soldiers in T-Shirts. And in gematria, this sums to 84 in reduction, just like the date that this all occurred, 8/4. And 84 is a significant number to begin with. It's part of the reason we had this whole ritual. The word masonry equals 84. Like I said, high levels of masonry, the Jesuit order that are constructing these rituals for us to see played out in the mainstream media. The word Jesuit also equals 84. Even the Jesuit order has this number. But notice how in Spanish this is called soldados de franelas. In the reverse reduction method, this is 105, which is the ordinal value of Masonry. But what I wanted to point out about this name, Soldados de Frenelas, is its ordinal and reduction value. 174 and 66. This is number of the beast, 174 and 66. "666" has this connection to 33. We know 33 is an important number to Masonry. When you write out 33, it sums to 156. And look what I just noticed. Soldados de Frenelas equals 561, which is the 33rd triangular number. Add every number up 1 through 33, you get 561. So, once again, crafted over multiple ciphers, not just one. I also want to point out that they said the attack occurred at 5:40 p.m. and it's President Nicolas Maduro, which sums to 54 in reduction. Notice this value of 144 in ordinal, like mark of the beast, 144. And again, I believe it's time that's the beast. Time summing to 144 in Jewish Gematria. So as far as the date, as far as why this occurred on this date, measure to the Independence Day of Venezuela, which was July 5th, just this past month. Including the end date, it was 4 weeks and 3 days ago. Assassination equals 43. In reverse, it also sums to the 43rd prime number, 191. All right, so back to the basics, right? The number of the beast itself. Not the gematria of number of the beast, but the actual number, 666. I'm going to introduce something called Sumerian gematria. And again, this whole language based around letters, numbers, dates, and time. So this is the cipher that's sort of said to reveal the number of the beast. And it's just the alphabetic order times 6. And think about how 6 is related to time, 60 seconds per minute, 60 minutes per hour. And using this method, the nation of Venezuela equals 666. Once again, 6 times 6 times 6 is 216, and this takes place on the 216th day of the year. So if it's true that the circle is the mark of the beast, it seems to make sense because mathematics of the circle equals 666 and 216 using the standard alphabetic order. All right, so for those of you who are still with me and learning here, I want to talk about how the Society of Jesus is highly connected to the nation of Venezuela through the numbers, and how this also ties into President Nicolas Maduro. So we're talking about this circle as the mark of the beast, and the Society of Jesus has this emblem, which is a circle. And if you count the number of rays emanating from this circle, which I allege is supposed to be the sun, you get 32 rays of the sun, and the word circle sums to 32. But notice how on that page they tell you that it goes by SJ for abbreviation, Society of Jesus, SJ. With S as the 19th letter and J as the 10th, SJ has a gematria of 29. And it's Revelation 2:9 that first mentions the synagogue of Satan. And I believe the Society of Jesus is playing out the role of the synagogue of Satan. Their motto is "For the greater glory of God," which sums to 1201. This is the same as the synagogue of Satan, 1201. So in this Jewish method, the Society of Jesus has a value of 1811. The Venezuelan Declaration of Independence was signed on July 5th in the year 1811. Now check this out. Nicolas Maduro Moros, the full name of the president, his name sums to 224 and 235, which is the same as the Society of Jesus, 224, 235. So this whole thing, just a massive Jesuit ritual. So now we're going to work our way to measuring to the Jesuit order's establishment date and figuring out how that ties in as well. So to get there, I just want to point this out. We're talking about the beast, right? The beast, time, its mark, the circle, and its number 666. And this makes a lot of sense too, because the number pi, which is what you use to get a circle, if you sum the first 144 digits behind the decimal, it sums to 666. Mark of the beast equals 144. And if you write these words out, circle, beast, time, it sums to 144. But here's what's interesting in relation to this story regarding the assassination attempt. When you add the numbers 666, you get 81, like the date, like the Gematria of Nicolas Maduro Moros, 81, as you see down here. You also get 810 in ordinal. So it has the same numerology whether you're adding 666 or 666. And I assure you this is not random irrelevance. Because, again, not only does this guy's name sum to 81 in reduction, but the assassination attempt occurred during the celebration of the National Guard's 81st anniversary. You know, look this story up for yourself. That's what was going on. The number 81 seems to be huge in this ritual. It was mentioned that the Colombian president may have been responsible for this. And check out the birthday of Ivan Duque Marquez, the current Colombian president. He was born on August 1st, 8/1. The current president-elect, Juan Calderon, was born on August 10th, 8/10. Again, a lot like 81. When you write out the number 81, you have this connection to 108. This 624 is pretty interesting also. This is the birthday of Freemasonry. I'll skip that for now. But I think this is interesting because oftentimes numbers are connected to their reflection. So 81 would be similar to 18. And in Gematria, 81 equals 108. So this guy's birthday can be written 10/8, like the number 108. It just so happens that it's been a span of 108 days since the anniversary of Nicolas Maduro taking office, and it's been 10 months, 8 days since the Jesuit order's anniversary. The name Nicolas Maduro Moros in reverse reduction sums to 108. This is a number that really ties this whole language together. Geometry, the word gematria comes from the word geometry. It represents geometry within the language. Geometry summing to 108. Full moon has this double gematria of 108 and 108. And if you check my post out, you'll understand the significance of that. So just to get to the end of this all, before I wrap this up, I'm going to glance at the chat before this video ends too, if anyone has any questions. I feel like I've talked myself into a circle here with all this, this beast numerology, but I just want to make sure everyone understands how coded out these rituals are. So the last thing I want to mention is that this attack happened 111 days before Nicolas Maduro's birthday. Venezuela, using the alphabetic order, equals 111, and it's going to be his 56th birthday on this date, we're told that this was a drone attack. Drone equaling 56. Society of Jesus, by the way, also 56. And it's a funny guy to have in an assassination scare because his birthday is November 23rd, 1962, which, including the end date, is exactly 1 year to the day before John F. Kennedy was assassinated here in the United States. So this headline read this: Venezuelan president targeted by drone attack, officials say. And of course, anytime it says officials say, you kind of have to take that at face value, or have to take it with a grain of salt because it's often not true. Now, in Jewish reduction, this headline sums to 227. This being the number that's closely connected to the circle, as I showed in my slide earlier. In this same method, the Society of Jesus sums to 227. That would be in Jewish ordinal. So these three Latin alphabet ciphers, very connected, and to this day, they still get tributes. And really, when you're dealing with the Society of Jesus, Jewish Gematria seems to be the most significant. I think Latin was predominant when they were formed back in the year 1540, so it just it makes a lot of sense. All right. Yeah, so like the commenters are saying, I mean, the event looks fake in the first place, doesn't it? I mean, some people flinched. There was like an explosion in the background. It kind of reminded me of those bombs that went off during that soccer game in Paris, France. Remember, that was the same day as the Bataclan attack. And yeah, the bombs went off, but there was no footage of the bombs going off. You would think that in a busy area, a highly surveilled area like France, like the main stadium there, they would have more cameras on it. But anyway, in this case too, you didn't really see anything happen. You just saw people scatter at a certain point. Perhaps they got an order to run away. Perhaps they really did see something, but nothing that I saw suggested that there were actually drones invading the airspace. If somebody has evidence, feel free to point that out. But again, it's just all being orchestrated by this code, letters and numbers, dates on the calendar. All right, everybody. Keep seeking and speaking that truth out there. I appreciate those of you who stuck around this to the end, and hopefully this provides a better understanding of what we're seeing in the mainstream media, and hopefully more of you guys can help expand this knowledge and spread it so we can take this whole thing down and really take their power away, take this whole establishment of mind control that they've built over us to be crumbled down to the ground. All right, everybody. Peace.